Hello friend, hello, welcome to Awali Connection. I'm so happy. So today we're gonna do some training and how we can improve knowledge in IT, because some of you was asking me how they can improve knowledge in IT. So that's why I decided to do some training or some videos. I'm gonna explain the basics in IT, especially in networking. We're gonna talk about LAN today. So today we're going to talk, of course, about LAN. What is a LAN? LAN is a local area network, and this is some part of LAN that we should know. So we do have an IP address. We do have an IP address. We will learn how IP address works and what is a subnet and how we can do a subnet, how we can subnet our network. After that, we're going to talk about switches. What is a switches and how is it working? Of course, we're going to talk about the router and the gateway. So this is some simple part of IT of LAN that we should know. And let's go. Welcome back, friend. Welcome back. So now we're going to talk about LAN. What is a LAN? LAN is a local area network. So we usually work on LAN maybe at home. For example, when we connect our Wi-Fi to a phone or maybe to a smart TV or maybe to laptops. So connecting all of these devices together, it already work on a LAN. So now we're going to talk about LAN in enterprise level, how it works. So I'm going to give you an example. This setup of networking to a school. I'm going to a small school here. So for example, here we do have a school. This is some classroom and we do have some students inside. So for example, this student would like to talk to this student. And for this student to talk to this one is going to request to a pin. So here is a pin. So this pin is going to allow this student to go to another classroom and talk to his friend. So a pin is like a switch. Switch is a device that allows communication in a LAN. This device is a switch. So with a switch, we can communicate each other's in a LAN. For example, this PC would like to print. This is a printer. So for this PC to print on these printers, it's going to go through switches, and the switch is going to do communication between these two devices. So the most important definition we can give to switches is a setup of device that allow communication between two devices in a LAN. For example, this student also would like to talk to his parents and or maybe to another person outside school. So this student is going to talk to a security guard. So a security guard here is going to be our router. A router is a device that allows communication from a LAN and outside of our network. So for example, this device or this PC would like to get access to internet. So for this device to get access to internet, this device is going through the router, and the router is going to allow communication between both, because internet is outside of a network. I'm going to expand about that. For now, we're going to just talk about LAN. So after that, the security guard is going to be our router, because it's going to allow our device to talk to another person or maybe another device outside our network. So how these devices can talk each other's? For those devices to talk each other's, we should give to all of these devices, as in a classroom, as in a school, we should give to all our students a roll number. So what is a roll number here in our network? A roll number is going to be our IP address. For example, here we give to all of our devices an IP address. So what is an IP address? IP address is an address we give to a device to talk to another device. For example, here we do have 198.168.1.1. That's 1.2, dot 3, dot 4, dot 5, 6, 7, 8. All of these devices connect each other. They should have an IP address. So an IP address is going to be like a roll number, as I said here. For example, this is a file server. For this PC to get access on our server, this PC is going to request, or maybe is going to talk to this device or to this file server via an IP address. So an IP address is an address we should give to all of our devices in our network. That's the simple classic definition I can give to all of these parts of our. All of these devices connect each other's, and we can talk about LAN. LAN is simple, just some devices connect each other's, talking each other's, and now we do have a networking. Now we're going to talk about subnet. So what is subnet? Subnet or subnet mask. What is subnet mask or subnet work? Is just the way that we can divide a network on multiple small network. We can divide a big network on 3 or more different subnet or network. So, for example, here we do have some devices connect each other's. This printer have an IP address of 192.168.10.34, and this phone have an IP address of 192.168.10.35. So these two devices could be in the same subnet. Why? Because when we can write our subnet mask, for example, 255.255.0.0, with this subnet mask, we could, or we can say, these two devices or these two IP addresses in the same lane or the same subnet. Why? Because the two first range is the same. For example, here we have 192.168 and the same here. So that means these two devices here could be in the same network. So here we do have an PC that have an IP address of 192.168.1.1. And these PC have a subnet mask of 255.255.0.0. And we can see here these IP addresses have the same subnet like this one. But this doesn't mean that this IP address is in the same network with this device. Why? Because the way that we subnet, the way that this IP address is, means it could be in different network. It's not because it's one here, but it's because in the way that we design our network. So depending the way that we design our network, that we can understand, oh, this IP address of another IP address is not in the same network. So I'm going to give another example, like from a school, as we said about the LAN. So in a school, we can give a student a roll number, as we said. So a roll number. So each of our students have a roll number. So how we can identify that this student is coming from our school or maybe is not coming from our school? So we're going to give these students, for example, student 1 have a roll number of x1.3.3.4, and another one have a x1.3 that one, that's 40. So how we identify that these two students coming from the same school? So the simple way that we identify these students is by saying it is roll number. The two face range is the same. That means these two students coming from the same school. That's the simple way that we can explain subnets. We also need to talk about a gateway. So what is a gateway? Simple. A gateway is an IP address that connects our network to a router. For example, here we do have 192.168.10.3.5. So this IP address is our gateway. This IP address allows us to get access on our router. So if any devices in our LAN want to talk to another network outside of our network, these devices get connected to our gateway, and the IP address of our gateway is 192.168.10.35. This is our gateway. Gateway is just the IP address for a router. That's it. On the next part, we're going to talk about router. We're going to explain how router works and how we can improve our knowledge. So, see you